What's up guys, Romine here. Today I'm going to react to some Hollywood films. You know, we watch movies all the time, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight as to what I think whenever I see certain scenes. It's always interesting watching movies that have guns in them. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's a little okay, I could see why you were doing that for the camera, and sometimes it's just completely bogus. So I'm a certified firearms instructor. I've taught thousands of people, so I'd like to think I know a little bit about, you know, guns and how to handle them. So let's get into it. All right, first up we got James Bond, Skyfall. Let's check it out. First thing, finger goes off the trigger when the gun comes out of your line of sight. You no longer see the sights anymore. I caught that. He started bringing that gun down, that finger was still on the trigger while he was looking at his shot. So that's first. So, I've been here before. You know, you're doing a qualification for some type of, you know, job, some type of agency, whatever. It's, you know, quiet. I don't know how it is in whatever it's called, IMF, or I think that's another movie. That's Mission Impossible. But whatever it is in the James Bond world, I don't know how they do their quals, but usually it's somebody saying, this is the drill you're doing. This is the amount of time you have to do it in. Do you understand the drill? Shooter ready, stand by, beep. And then you have to perform the drill in that allotted time. So looked like he was just kind of shooting, but you know, whatever. Either way, when you don't train a lot or when you're off the gun for a while, you get rusty. You know, it's like sports. If you don't play basketball for a while, you don't play golf for a while, as soon as you get back into it, you're rusty. And you're gonna start to throw your shots when it comes to shooting everywhere. So a good way to kind of counteract that is dry fire. You just always want to dry fire. If I know I'm going to spend 5-6 months off the gun, I'm at least, if I'm just super busy, I'm at least going to dry fire a few times a week for about 5 minutes each time, just to kind of keep those skills up. So when I come back to work, if somebody asks me, hey, you told me to perform X drill, can I see you do it so I can see how it's done? I'm not like, oh man, I haven't shot a gun in 6 months. What am I gonna do? I hope I make these. So I feel them. Everybody's been asking, it's finally here. The Alston Trainings clothing line is now available to purchase. Go to alstontrainings.com, click on the shop tab, and you'll have access to everything. You see me wearing the stuff. My friends are wearing the stuff. People who I know are always asking me, hey, when can we get it? When can we get it? So now it's here. We appreciate your support. There'll be more to come. Check it out on the shop right now. All right, so what do we have next? Looks like Bad Boys Ride or Die, the final fight scene. So let's check it out.
Dawn, we need cover and we need eyes inside. Go now.
Here comes the smoke. I got your six.
Hold on.
Dawn, we need cover and we need eyes inside. Go now.
Here comes the smoke. I got your six.
Did y'all catch that? Is that gun empty?
Dawn, we need cover and we need eyes inside. Go now.
There's reload. I see brass. So we have, I don't know, this is probably a continuity issue with the editing department. Will Smith obviously very clearly loaded bullets into his AR, his Armalite rifle, his AR-15.
We need cover and we need eyes inside. Go now.
Bullets. Yep, I see the brass.
Here comes the smoke.
No brass. There's no brass in that chain, and the bolt is locked open. So the magazine's in there, the bolt is back, showing the chamber, and there's nothing in it. So it sucked to go into a gunfight with no ammo. Interesting.
I got your six.
Great. All this looks very chaotic, and I guess it's good for movies. This is one of the reasons why, if you have an AR-15 or any type of, rifle situation, you definitely want to get good manipulating that safety, because you can see everybody's just pointing their guns around at these drones who are flying around and stuff like that. And like I said in a previous video, that rifle can't go in a holster like a handgun. So the barrel is always going to be pointed at something else or somebody else. So if this were real, this would be, the test to see, have you trained to manipulate that safety, because people could have easily just shot each other here. This is very chaotic, but this looks like it might be an entertaining movie. All right, coming up next, Fast and Furious 10. I personally stopped watching Fast and Furious after Paul Walker passed away. Just didn't care anymore. The whole song with Wiz Khalifa, When I See You Again, and everything just hit me right in the feels, and I didn't care. So I'm surprised they're not in space. They'll probably be in space on the next one. Or maybe they already are in space, and I just don't know because I stopped watching it. So let's check it out.
Well, Brazil is mine, and I am.
Oh my gosh, no. No. Let me get a gun real quick. All right, I have a CZ here. Check. It is clear. Okay. I see this in movies a lot. When people draw guns in movies, there's all this. But what does this actually sound like? Nothing. The sound that you're hearing, it's like, no, man, you're hearing stuff that's like racking the slide, but racking the slide, even if the slide is empty, or if the chamber is empty and you're not actually loading around, it's going to sound different than when you are loading around. Either way, the people are supposed to be doing this for that sound to be accurate. When you're just presenting the gun, it's silent. I hate that. I hate that. When you present the gun, it doesn't matter what it is. It's completely silent unless you are manipulating the gun. And I'm not drawing my gun unless I'm planning to use it. So I always think it's funny how people will just draw guns on each other in movies. And then they're like, never mind. We were all about to just massacre one another, but cooler heads prevailed. It's all good. Moving on. So.
You people think you could buy everything. But you can't buy the streets.
There we go again.
Well, this is awkward. So how about we all just start shooting each other and see what happens? Or we race. If you win, you take me in. If you lose, don't lose.
You all came because you wanted to see a race.
There's so much sound.
Let's race!
Never mind. We were all just ready to die, and now let's party. It's insane. So I stopped watching it. Okay, next up. I've seen this one. I actually referenced this movie in a video about knife, bat, and gun, and I was comparing the three. with my buddies T and BJ, and it was a good time. So this is Michael B. Jordan without remorse. This is the scene where he sets the car on fire and, you know, gets after the politician.
Who killed my wife? Huh? Who's the fourth guy in my house? Give me a name. You give me a name.
Okay. I'll give you a name. John Kelly. You are a problem, John. You're supposed to be dead, so wherever you go, death will follow up.
Yeah, that one's easy. That one's easy to spot. This is not Michael B. Jordan slander. He's great. But when he pressed the trigger and shot the guy in the lung, there was no shell casing. Let me grab this gun again. When you shoot a gun, you press the trigger, the firing pin hits the primer cup, ignites the gunpowder in the shell casing. The extractor extracts and ejects the shell casing as the slide reciprocates, and then when the slide goes back into battery, it automatically loads the next bullet from the magazine into the chamber, so you can press the trigger again. When Michael B. Jordan shot the guy, there was no reciprocation of the slide, and there was no shell casing. So let's watch that real quick again so you can catch it.
Follow up. Yeah, that punctured your lungs.
Yeah.
My wife Pam, she drowned in her own blood. Now you give me a name. Give me a name and I'll make it quick.
Victor Reiko.
Yeah, but that was a fun movie. That was a fun movie. I really liked that one. I enjoyed that. I had a good time with that. As I was watching that for the first time, I was just dry firing the whole movie. I was hyped. I really enjoyed that one. All right, and lastly, we have a scene from The Gray Man. So let's check this one out, see what we got.
Okay, let's start.
So first of all, you can 100% shoot one-handed, and in movies they do this a lot. They just shoot one-handed. But when you have a gun, let's say I'm shooting this one-handed. So my right hand is taking up the right side of the frame. My left hand isn't here, so the left side of the frame is exposed. When I fire this gun is going to want to move to the least point of resistance. So when I shoot it, it's going to look more like bang, bang, bang. It's going to want to move somewhere. It's not just going to stay still because you have the slide reciprocating, you have a literal bomb going off in front of your face. There's going to be movement. So while you can 100% shoot one-handed, and I shoot one-handed sometimes, in real life, I am not just choosing to shoot one-handed. He just like had his hand down like, I'm too cool for school, so I'm just going to shoot one-handed like it's no big deal. If I was ever in a situation, I want two hands on that gun, and like my support hand is death gripping the gun to make sure that I have control over it. So him just shooting one-handed kind of makes me think you're not really trying to hit who you're trying to hit. You're just trying to send shots to scare people, which we don't want to do that either. You'll go to jail.
Hey! Give me the gun.
You're in my shot.
You gave me an empty gun?
The shells were coming, okay?
Huh?
The shells were coming. You ran away too
Then
fast.
you need to say, hey, wait, that's empty.
No, it's assumed.
I assumed it's loaded, so I run after the guy.
Who throws a loaded gun?
I asked for a loaded gun.
No one throws a loaded weapon, okay? Are you coming?
No, that's actually Ana de Armas. Yes. I like Ana de Armas anyway. But she's right. Every gun is loaded, and if I'm in a situation like that, you know, I'm praying to God that you don't throw me an empty gun. We are throwing loaded guns. It doesn't matter. Shotguns, they'll have a manual safety. ARs and AKs, they have a manual safety switch. This CZ, this Glock, you know, certain Sig Sauers and Walthers and stuff like that, they don't have manual thumb safeties that you actuate. But regardless of if it does or not, just throw me the gun. Throw me the gun. I'm not going to catch it and put my finger in the trigger guard and then press the trigger. Like, I'm just going to catch it and then get my grip together. So every gun is assumed to be loaded, no matter what, but especially in something like that. So shout out to Ana de Armas.
I'm gonna bleed out while we have this conversation. Can we just unpack this somewhere else?
So that's it. There are a couple shows that I would look at that I think they did a great job. Of course, we have John Wick, so I'm not gonna, mention that one. Extraction with Chris Hemsworth or Liam Hemsworth, one of them. That's really good. Like just the maneuverability of the rifle when Chris is doing his thing, the handgun when he's doing his thing, how he's bringing the gun into him, moving around other people, not flagging other people. It's really good. You start to notice those things, especially being around people in the range all the time and in training environments. Just that constant thought of safety. I don't want to point the gun at anything I'm not willing to destroy, or you could think of it as I only want to point the gun at things I am willing to destroy. So that's a good one. Also, The Terminal List. The Terminal List with Chris Pratt is exceptional. There's even a scene where he's approaching a guy, he shoots the guy while he's in the car, and then he brings the gun in to a compress ready as he's digging for stuff in the car. Once he gets the stuff out of the car that he needed, he turns his body and uses his arm to close the car door, and then he moves from there. It's good. The Terminal List. I think it's just like 6 episodes or something. It's just a limited series. Fantastic. But anyway, get out there and train. And thanks for watching. Now when you watch movies, maybe they'll be ruined just as much as they are for me, as they are for you, because you'll notice what they're doing wrong, or you'll notice something goofy. But it's all Hollywood at the end of the day. So just make sure you know how to use a real gun. Make sure that you train and that you're safe with one. And I'll see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Roman.